on this episode, I pump up the dinghy, head over to the little fishing village of Fisterra, have a little wander around, and then I continue my journey south to Baiona. But now, my first foreign anchorage. I've only ever anchored in Weymouth Bay and Wheelbarrow Bay, which is just up the coast from where I live. This is going to be my first. Wheelbarrow Bay I didn't stay overnight. I've stayed overnight in Weymouth Bay. I know it's a sandy bottom, I know it's good grounding. This is supposed to be a sandy bottom, good grounding, so I should sleep well tonight. I hope. There's no wind, the wind's totally dropped, but it's absolutely beautiful. Look at this. I am tempted to jump in, but the water doesn't look that inviting. It's a little bit greeny. Still, I've made great time today. That was a big day. 12-hour sail. My passage plan was for 12 hours, and I left at quarter to 7 this morning, and the time now is 20 to 7 in the evening. So I got that pretty bang on. Yeah, it's very interesting, as you saw earlier. A few moments, a lot to learn still a lot to learn, and just practicing things really. I'll get there, I will get there. Now I think it's cup of tea and dinner. Parked her up. So these nice fishermen just told me to stick it in there basically. Anyway, I'm in. Really cute little town. Just gonna go and have a little wander. No harbour would be complete without tyres. There's some, looks like mullet kicking around.
There wasn't really much to see. It's quite a small little fishing village, quite a lot of restaurants, fish restaurants, funnily enough, being a fishing village. It had that quaint, quirky little Spanish feel to it. In the Roman times, it was believed to be an end of the known world. The name Finisterra derives from the Latin finis terra, meaning end of the earth. So I headed back down towards the harbour, had a little coffee, and on my way back to Little Warrior, I saw this. So I get back to Little Warrior, jump in, and then head back to Big Warrior. Now, I might be kind of biased, but I do think she looks pretty at anchor. There she is.
It's so warm. I really want to go for a swim, just jump off the back of the boat. But I'm totally surrounded by these swimming crabs. And the water doesn't look the cleanest. So I'm probably going to give it a miss. Good morning. Welcome to another morning in a very hazy Fisterra. It's very beautiful though. This haze is making it look pretty nice. I was supposed to have left an hour ago. And it was going to be a 12-hour motor down to Baiona. There's no wind today, but I wanted to get moving south. But last night over in the harbour area, there was some kind of party going on, some big rave or something going on till 4 o'clock this morning. So I didn't really sleep very well, so I switched my alarm off and decided, well, I'll just spend another day here. But then when I woke up, I looked at Navily, which is an app I use for anchorages, and it gives you anchorages and marinas and harbours all over the world, I think. And there is a place kind of halfway, which is great for two reasons. Firstly, it means the motor will only be on for 6 hours as opposed to the 12, which is a bit easier. And I get to see another location, which would be lovely. And it means I can leave slightly earlier, so slightly later. So that's 3 reasons actually. 3 reasons why it's going to be better to go somewhere else. So I'm going to have a coffee, have some breakfast, get everything ready to go. Yeah, and then make a move. There's definitely I've got some more neighbours, a lot more neighbours. Still got that cat next to me. I've had a lovely time here, it has been nice. So I'm going to get ready and I'll show you on the chart where I'm going to go to next. Okay, new plan. So I am here. This is the Fisterra Peninsula. On here it says Finisterra. On my chart, I don't know if you can see, it's got Fisterra. I don't know if you can make that out. Anyway, Finisterra, Fisterra, whatever. We're going to be leaving this anchorage, and the plan was to head down to, there's Vigo. We're going to go to Baiona, this anchorage here, but it's a 12-hour, about a 12-hour motor. There's no wind, so it's going to be motoring all day. A bit late on the start, so instead we're going to go into this little anchorage tucked away in here in Porto de Correbedo. I've definitely pronounced that correctly. That sounded about right, didn't it? So that's about halfway. As I say, it's going to be good because it's only 6 hours of the engine being on as opposed to the 12 to get down to Baiona. So I've done it there on the Navionics. I'm going to redo it on my chart and on my chart plotter and make another passage plan. And then we'll be off. Time to weigh anchor. Looks like quite a seaweedy bottom. very seaweedy bottom. I've got about 5 to 6 meters of chain out at the moment, which means it's off the bottom. I'm drifting, but I'm not going to bring it all the way up because I'm going to bring up that lump. So I'm going to just steam ahead slowly and see if I can shake that off. Nope, didn't work. I'm just dragging half the seabed with me. Oh well, I have to get it on deck and clear it then when the anchor's up. There's no wind, but it's not really going to hurt if I put the mainsail up, although I'm just looking out ahead of me and it looks like quite a bit of sea fog. Don't know if you can see out there, so I'm going to take my time nice and slow. I won't put the mainsail up now just yet. I'm going to get out there. If it is a fog, I'm going to turn around and come back until that clears. Don't know if you've ever seen Stephen King's The Fog. I'm getting that vibe right now. So there's 3 of us just hanging outside the fog bank, waiting for the off, ready for the starter's pistol. Hopefully it'll go. The fog is creeping over a little bit more over the hill there, and it does look like it's coming. The boat that was over there is slowly running away from it. So I'm going to start my engine up again, head back to the anchorage, drop the hook and just wade it out. Just trying to leave for a second time. I've weighed anchor, heading back out because it looked like it was clearing, but it looks like now there's a second bank coming in and that one looks pretty thick. So I'm just going to do the same, sort of just hang around outside of it, see what it's going to do. If it gets much past lunchtime, then I'll just stay here for the day, for the night again. Back in the anchorage for the second time. I think I'm going to give it up for the day. It's just gone lunchtime. Fog bank is still outside the peninsula. That's where I need to go. It's just not worth it. I don't know how big that fog bank is, and I don't particularly want to try and navigate into a new anchorage in fog. So I'll see what tomorrow brings. What I'm going to do is pump up the dinghy again, head into town, get some fresh dinner for tonight. So I was thinking, now this could be a thing already, I don't know, but if I get into town and then the fog does come in and I can't find my way back to the boat, because obviously it's just out in an anchorage, I've decided what I'm going to do is, using my binoculars, I've taken a bearing. Inside there I've got a graphical bearing, and I've taken a look at a point just in the entrance of the harbour. I found a little pontoon. I took a bearing off the end of that pontoon and it gave me 188 degrees. Now if the fog does come in and I can't see my boat, when I'm leaving that harbour, I've got a hand bearing compass. I'm just going to take a back bearing off that, so 188, take away 180, 8 degrees. So pretty much north, nearly north. So I can get my little dinghy off the end of that pontoon, find my 8 degrees with my hand bearing compass and head on there, and I should bump into the Warrior. If that's a thing already, leave a comment and tell me that's the done thing to do. If it is kind of new to some of you and it's a useful tip, then also leave a comment. That would be great. But yeah, I'm going to pump the dinghy up and go for a wander in the little village again. Heading back to the boat now, and the fog has come in slightly. I can't see Big Warrior while I'm in Little Warrior, but hopefully as I get closer, should be good. I don't think I need to take the bearing, but just goes to show how the weather can suddenly come in.
The next day I decided to make my way all the way to Baiona, try and catch up that day I lost. I didn't bother showing you the weigh and anchor and all that rigmarole again, you've already seen that. Unfortunately it was just a whole day on the motor.
engine is at it again, keeps sort of dropping revs. I went and had a look at the water separator. It does look like there's water in the bottom, not a massive amount. I think if it goes, I'm just going to change the filter again. It can't be the filter, I just got all the diesel bug out, but I'll have a look. I'm really starting to be downhearted about this whole thing now, just because of this bloody engine. So the engine was starting to get a little bit more frequent, getting worse. I thought it was it sounded a bit like maybe air in the line. I thought that last time, and it turned out to be the filter blocked. I've not gone to the extreme of changing the filter just yet. I looked in the separator and there's a small bit of air in the top, water in the bottom, air in the top. So I've just primed, just took out the little bleed nipple, primed it a little bit. Don't want to open my mouth too soon, but it seems to be going okay now. Maybe it's just a bit of air, which means I am drawing air into the system somewhere. So that's another investigation to do, but for the moment, as long as it gets me into the anchorage, then I'll investigate then. This engine problem wouldn't be as bad as if I had some wind and my sails are up. I could just get plenty of sea room, just start heading out to sea while I sort the problem. But there's absolutely no wind, 2 knots. I've got no sails up because they were just flog. I've got the islands there which I need to get around, and I know what's going to happen. It's going to die on me as I'm at the closest point to that. Then it's going to be a race against time to get this filter off, bleed the system, and hope that that is the issue. Otherwise, I might be doing my first mayday to drag me away from those cliffs. She really has not enjoyed the last few hours, the engine struggle, which means I've not enjoyed the last few hours. It's been so stressful, just wondering if it's going to cut out and I need to get towed, or I just hate it. So the plan is to go and anchor. I'll investigate. If I can't find anything, then I'll have to go into a marina, get an engineer on board, but I don't know what's wrong with this thing. If anybody knows what this framework slash rig is at the bottom of this mast, can they please leave a comment and let me know? I'm in. The anchor's down, the anchor's set. The engine didn't cut out, thank God. So this is what I've been looking forward to doing all day. Now time to investigate exactly what is wrong with this thing again. Filter's clean, which tells me it was air in the system. So just go around, tighten up all of the connections, and then go from there. That's enough nonsense about the engine. I'll see if it works in a couple of days when I leave Baiona. But for now, enjoy this beautiful first night sunset in this new anchorage.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be.
Decided to row the dinghy ashore today. It's lovely, flat calm. Warrior is way in the distance. The marina don't like you using their slips or pontoons. There's no dinghy dock, so I've come to these steps, padlocked and chained the dinghy up the same as this one next to me. The issue is when the tide drops, this dries, so as you can see I have to get wet to get out, and I'll be probably getting wet, hopefully getting wet to get in. If the tide does drop, then my dinghy is on barnacles, which isn't ideal. So I'm going to get into town and do what I need to do. My first stop today was in a marina office, trying to locate an engineer who I could either speak to or get on board to find out if it is air getting into my system. So there's three marinas. There's the Club Real, which is over the distance, and then there's some kind of port thing, and then there is the Porto Deportivo Baiona. I got hold of them on VHF earlier, the Club Real one, and they were pretty moody and just said, nope, we've got no room. I said, no, I just want to bring my dinghy in, have a chat. Nope, it's only for club members and people staying in the marina. So I thought, okay, well, on the way from the dinghy, I'll stop in the Baiona marina, and they were just not helpful at all. They didn't even want, it seems like he didn't even want to talk to me. I asked the first guy, do you speak English? He said, no, I don't speak English, but my colleague in there does. So I thought, oh, okay, that's pretty good English. And yeah, he said, no, we haven't got any engineers. You need to go to Vigo, which is kind of north and out the way, which I don't really want to go to. I find it hard to believe with 3 ports and marinas here, there's no engineer. So I'm going to probably just risk it and head south towards Porto. I think there's a marina 3 or 4 miles outside, so if I do get in trouble, at least I can stop there first. I also asked if there's a place here to check out. This is the last stop before I go into Portugal, so I would have thought that I need stamping out of Spain before I stamp into Portugal, but he was like, no, you don't need a stamp. So I'll listen to that, see what happens. So I decided to have a little explore around the town of Baiona. There's some pretty cool things to see, but mainly I wanted to get over to the fort, and on my way over there was just some really nice things, so I thought I'd just take some footage of that. But my main goal, like I say, was this fort. I say a fort is actually a castle, but I couldn't see the castle from where I was. It's called the Castle of Montreal, and it now is a luxury hotel. The construction of the castle dates around the 17th century. The castle was also famous for its 3 towers. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the names, I just really can't, but I managed to sort of just put the GoPro in one to have a look, and it looks like the staircase might be original. And from this side of the castle, you've really got some commanding views over the marinas and the anchorage. And I had a quick look over to see if I could see the Warrior. And if you look just in the distance, there she is. Looking at it from the land's perspective, those islands there, what I come around the outside of, and that little lighthouse island around the outside of that, all the way round over to the anchorage over there. It's actually quite some distance from Fisterra down to Baiona, and when I leave tomorrow it's back out and then heading south, hopefully missing those rocks out there. But I'm going to stay well out because I want to give myself plenty of sea room in case my engine does pack up and I end up having to get rescued. It'll give me plenty of time before I do end up on them rocks. As you can see, there is a footpath that walks around the whole of the bottom also, but I decided to stay up high. You get quite a good view, and this is that luxury hotel. Also saw this little church in there, but I couldn't find anything out about that, so just have a quick look and that'll do. I walked back into the town, decided to walk around the old part of town, and you can really get a good feel for just how old it is. Come across this really quaint little church as well. In the year 1493, Baiona became the first village to know about the discovery of America, as one of the caravels travelling back to Spain arrived here. As you keep walking through, you come across plenty of little restaurants and bars and tavernas, but I didn't stop for anything. I headed back to Baby Warrior. This was what I meant. by the time coming in quite a bit. I thought I put the padlock on far enough up the rail that I wouldn't have to get too wet today. I might be able to reach over and stay knee deep, but we'll see.
I got lucky there. As usual, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, leave a comment. Join me next time where I head down to Baiona to Castelo in Portugal so I can finally drop the Spanish flag for the time being and raise the Portuguese. I have to navigate my way through a fairly tight entrance into the marina. Then I'll have a little walk around Baiona do Castelo and up to a church or a castle or a church, I don't know. If you do enjoy these, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get notified when I post next. See you later.